So everybody likes a little DIY. Been talking back and forth with Aksalaman. You guys, he's a contributor, but he's a non-creator, and he has a Nero. I'm pretty sure he has a Nero, and he likes the alcohol stove. And I'm tinkering with alternate fuels right now for the shorter stoves, mostly the Runt and the Nero. And there's quite a few Neros out there, but I had an idea and he confirmed it, so I'm going to show you a little tip that he said works, and I was going to do it as well, but I'm going to show you how he did it as well as how you can do it if you want to use an alcohol stove in your Nero. So we're going to use our our high-tech tripod here to look on and see how this is done. So, see that piece of tubing in my vise there? Hang in there. That's going to turn into a tripod. So yeah, here. So we put the GoPro on the piece of 1-inch tubing, clamp it in the vise. Necessity's the mother of invention. So let me get this camera in that housing, and I'll show you how we're going to adapt this Nero over to use an alcohol stove, and as opposed to using twigs or natural wood. So hang in there. Okay, here we are. We've got all the pieces for the Nero here. I'd turn that fan off, making some noise. And so if you want to use an alcohol stove, take the back panel. That's the piece that just has the 2 holes in it. Okay, one of them is for the 1/4-inch screw that holds it together. The other is, of course, for the floor plate where you build your fire. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a hole just above that uppermost hole. So take a measuring device. You can use whatever you want. You can use tape measure, you can use a yardstick. You want to measure what it is right to that lip, and maybe just a skosh by, because that's 16-gauge steel, and that alcohol stove is going to set on top of that 16-gauge steel. And we want our hole to be perfectly centered in the back, or as close to center as we can get it. So we've got an upline now. So we're going to take this. I'm going to mark on the back, the side that doesn't have all the burn on it. All we're going to do is put a little line right there. Right, so we know where it is, and then we're just going to follow the center of those 2 holes, or as close as you can get it. And we'll put a mark there. Now we got the center of where we want our hole to go. I'm going to use a spring-loaded center punch, but you can use a nail, or you can use a punch, whatever. So you want to get right in the center of those 2 marks, and we're going to I'm going to give it a good wrap with a real punch to give me a good hole to start with. Okay, and then we'll take that, and we're going to put I put an 1/8-inch hole in it. I start with 1/8 inch. So now you got a good hole to start with. Then from there, I'm going to go to, what do I want? I'm going to go 7/32. You can use anything. I'm not going to go straight to 1/4. We'll go 7/32. Then, now we're going to go to 1/4, because that's what we want. We want a 1/4-inch hole right there. We're going to drill it through, and I'm using a unibit, speed bit. And we're just going to touch it up on both sides. So, let's try it. I don't think that old aksalaman would lead me down the garden path, but let's take a peek. So in theory, when we put this together, the floor to the fire chamber should be level now, because when I build them with a little taper built into them, so when you're feeding fuel, it wants to go with gravity and goes down, right? So let's get this dude together here. All right, now we'll go with Shalissa's method. She likes to take the back and insert it and then slide everything back together. And there we are. So now you can see that plate is perfectly for really or very, very close to being level. Thought I disappeared, huh? Thought I got lost in my own shop. So this is one of the first penny stoves that I built. I'm still working, I'm learning. Apparently Aksala, you guys all know him by that, he likes the alcohol stove. So I'm trying to verse myself better in different styles of alcohol stoves and the design of them. I'm watching a lot of videos and stuff. If you guys got any ideas, feel free to share them. But so yeah, see how that sets in there now? That's level, or it sets on a more level surface, as you can see in there. So another thing he did share with me that I was I guess I never really thought of it, is he said that he uses his yeah, I guess you could use it either way. He said he uses his ash pan when it's not on the bottom of his stove. This is a really good tip, because if you're working with longer twigs and you don't feel like busting them up and having them ready to go in to lay on the feed trough, he adds that to the bottom like that. How cool is that, right? So then you can lay longer sticks in there, especially when it's tilted, and just give them a bump in. You know, you can just stack them up out here and just feed them in as it burns as the fire burns it down. Very good tip. Thank you. Even though he's not a creator, in one way or another, he has contributed to the community here and helped us all learn something. So there you go. I will be working on both the regular beer can or soda can style alcohol stove design, and probably I've got some ideas for a lay flat stand for this that would go in your pack for something like that if you like using alternative fuels. So that'll be something coming down the road, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. It's Thursday. See you on Friday.